I'm always bobbing to the music. Listen, happy Thursday. Welcome, 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 welcome to Are You Dateable? It is Thursday again. We are hanging out. You all know this show is for singles, people who are dating, and people who are in relationships, particularly the LGBTQ plus community. All right. So if you are watching, I hope you know who I am already. I'm Lamont White, aka the gay dating coach. So, welcome to another episode of Are You Dateable? If you are watching, go ahead, click like, say hello to me, have some manners in the comment section. I want you to interact. Don't be a, wallflower or just watching. I want you to comment. But most importantly, do me a huge favor. Go ahead and share this video. Like, share the video. Click on take the URL, post it on your Facebook account, or text it to one of your friends who you're like, he or she, they, whatever pronouns they use, needs to be here tonight to ask some questions, okay? Definitely be like, hey, share the link with them. Say you need to watch this guy or you need to go on and pose some dating questions to them, okay? I see in the comment section, Sirius, who wants me to work on the weekends. Jerome, good to see you. Robert, Alan, Clay, Jay Bankhead, hello, good night. I like seeing the regulars here. I love it. It warms my heart. It warms my heart. I really appreciate it. Definitely, Clad, Jimmy, hello, hello, hello. I'm gonna do something a little different tonight because usually I come up with the topics, right? I want you all to come up with the topic tonight. Like, tell me in the comment section, give me a topic that you want to address, pose a question that has been burning in your mind, your soul, your spirit. You're like, Lamont, what are your views about this? What are your suggestions? You can put those right there in the comment section, and I will dare to see if I have the expertise to answer your question. Okay. Hello, Adam. Hilarious, hilarious. Brian, I see you. Hello, hello, hello. All right, so I definitely want you all to pose questions in the comment section, and I'll take notes on them and try to address them. Okay. If you want to ask your question live and get some really in-depth responses, go ahead and click on the link in the chat box. I definitely want you to come on and say hello to me. You can pose your question to me live. Also, if you're like, hey, Lamont, I've been having trouble finding somebody and you want me to tell you if I think you're dateable or give you some tips on how to be more dateable if you tell me your scenario, go ahead and click on the link and we will do a dating coaching live in front of everybody. And I will give you practical advice on how to find Mr. Right. Not Mr. Right now, but Mr. Right that you can find and stay with forever. Because that's what you want, right? So if you want to come on and have a dialogue with me, talk about your dating life, I will give you what people pay me for. Okay? So just click on the link and you can come on and I will have a conversation and give you some advice. And while we're talking, all the folks who are watching, make sure you all share this video and invite your friends. All right. Go ahead and just have the questions rolling in. I will keep track of them. I see that Adam says, how do you find a man on Grindr? How do you find a man on Grindr? So I did a whole video about this before, like literally a whole video about finding guys on dating apps. I think it is definitely possible for you to find guys on dating apps. I think gay men were doing it all wrong. Like, trash, throw it out, throw it out. Most of the people who are trying to find love on dating apps, they're doing it wrong because what? They're afraid to put their face picture out there. They take horrible pictures and they are not the most transparent and honest on their dating profiles, i.e., you all lie, you cap, and you tell people the wrong information. Okay. So, Adam, I think if you want to find someone on a dating app, you got to put your clear, current face picture out there and pictures that show and tell a story of who you are in your life. So, no weird torsos, no blank profiles, no black and white pictures, like a picture that you have taken within the last 6 months, head to toe as well, right? That's what you got to do. Okay, there's somebody at the doorbell. Adam, I'm going to come back to you about how you can find love on Grinder. Y'all ready, right? Let's see who it is. Hello, Mark. Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, how are you?
I am doing great. I'm doing great. We need a little bit more light, Mark. It's kind of dark over there.
Is it okay? I have both lights on.
Do you have the light in front of you?
No, let me see. Hold on one second. Is that better?
It's much better. I got Markeith in the background. He just lightened you up. Thank you for production. Thank you, Markeith.
Thank you.
All right, Mark, tell us what's going on. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what is your question?
Well, I am 38 and I live in New York City. I live in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And my question to you is I don't know if I'm doing it right as far as finding someone. I have lived in New York City now going on 13 years and I've dated, but I haven't really found anybody that I have been in a relationship with. And I'm just wondering if I'm starting to feel just a little anxiety because I'm wondering if it's too late, or if I'm getting too
Mhm,
old. Or
mhm, mhm.
I used to
Yeah.
think that I used to have, and can say I no longer have this. I used to think I was too fat and too gay to
Hmm.
love, but I can say I no longer have that. Since living in New York City all this time, I can say I no longer have that. Seeing all these different kind of couples and it's just
Yeah.
I no longer have that. Now it's just a matter of finding someone who I have things in common with and just where to go about that.
Okay. Great question, Mark. I need to know two things.
Okay.
Give me a description of your ideal guy. Like, I want you to be very specific and not general. Don't be like, oh, just a nice guy. Give me like preferences that you want in a compatible guy.
Masculine, chill, financially responsible, likes movies, and has his own.
You have an age range?
I would say 35 to 50.
Okay. You have a body type?
I would say average.
Okay. You have a race preference?
No.
Does he have to live in New York?
I would say no more than 2 hours.
Okay.
Somewhere I
Sexual
can
preference, sexual positions. What do you prefer?
top.
Strict top.
Well, that's a little bit of a loaded question. Can I tell you something?
Sure.
I've never been with anyone.
Like sexually.
I've performed oral sex and have oral sex performed on me, but I've never had intercourse.
Okay, so no order. So we would call you a side. And sides are guys who just kind of do everything except penetration. Do you want to do penetration?
Yes, I do.
And you want him to penetrate you, or you want to penetrate
Yeah,
him?
I would be the bottom.
Okay, okay. So I will tell you, the less flexible you are sexually, it makes it that much harder for you to find like a compatible guy because you are narrowing down your options. Not
Okay. Well,
telling you to change. I'm just telling you the facts.
okay. Well,
Okay?
since
Okay.
I can tell you, since I've never been penetrated, I don't know. So let's leave that. I'll keep myself open because I've never done either or. So I don't know if what I would like. So I'm going to keep that open.
Okay. That opens up your possibilities, Mark. Okay. So my second question is, how are you meeting guys now?
Through meetup groups,
Hmm.
speed dating events,
Hmm. Hmm.
and that's it.
So speed dating events that somebody in New York is holding. It's not me, but somebody
Yes.
else. another group, and then also you said what type of meetup groups? Give me like the. I know there are thousands of types of meetup groups, but give me like the titles of those and the demographics.
So they're like black gay men in New York City, and the
Mhm.
demographics are like from 30 to like 45.
Okay, so this is what you want. Are you approaching guys?
Yes.
Okay, so what about the guys in those meetup groups makes them not compatible for you?
They're not really as uh masculine or as chill as I would like for them to be. Um
How do you define masculinity?
um uh that's a good question. I want to feel like safe.
hmm hmm hmm
Um, I don't really, and I don't really have that much in common. I have things in, I can hang out with those guys, and we're friends, and we're chill, and it's nice to have some of that kind of camaraderie. But I don't really feel that kind of romantic connection
hmm
to them.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to get a really good gauge on your perception of or definition of masculinity. So, from a scale from 1 to 5, 5 being extremely butch masculine, and 1 being extremely feminine queen, where would you rank yourself?
Three,
Like right in the middle.
yeah,
And you would want to date a guy who is a what number?
five.
Tell me why.
I just find that
Other than wanting to be safe, tell me why.
I just find that more appealing.
Mhm,
Um, Certain things that I am interested in tend to be more masculine. I'm a boxer, so I love boxing. That tends to be more
mhm, mhm,
masculine.
mhm,
Kind of, that's my
mhm,
favorite sport, so
mhm, mhm,
I find that more appealing. I think like
mhm.
guys might like that more. What else? I just find that more attractive.
Okay, okay. Would you date a guy who's a 3.5 or a 4?
If we had things in common, yes. As you can see from my background, I'm a huge comic book collector.
Yeah.
So okay, so if we had that kind of thing in common, or if he were into those Marvel movies and DC movies, and we had things in common, then yes, I would.
Okay. So this is a show about being are you dateable? I think if you open up your preferences on masculinity, like I used to be the same way years ago. I was like, "Oh, only going to date ultra masculine guys who are like borderline the trade." And I start dating different types of guys. I even dated this guy was like real femme, like almost like Jack on Will and Grace.
Okay.
And I really appreciated being in his company, his space, and I actually was attracted to him. I would push you to date someone who's not a 5, but maybe more that matches your energy and
Okay.
maybe a little tad bit more. And when I say try it, I mean like generally go on dates with him. If he is meeting your age preference, your financial preferences, if he loves comics, he likes movies, if he likes similar things, if he's in New York, give it a try. Like I think one of the things that like and what's the you said you've not been in a long term relationship?
No.
Mark, you got a date. like I need you to give these guys an opportunity and not just oh, I'll go on one date. No, I want you to like give it your best effort.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then can I tell you at the last speed dating event that I had, there were guys that were like that 3.5 that I was interested. I was like they were into movies and doing kind of free things around New York City, which I like to do. And I thought, okay, I saw myself giving it a try. So now
Yeah.
that hearing that from you and I already
Yeah.
having kind of have that
Yeah.
inclination, I
Yes.
will go for it.
Perfect. Mark, thanks for coming on. Do it for a month and then come back and let me know how it was. You can say, Lamont, that
I
was horrible. I'm never doing it again. Or you can tell me if it worked. Okay.
I will. Lamont, thank you.
Thanks, Mark, for coming on. See you later.
Bye.
So I think you all don't bring the person in yet. Not yet, Markeith. Um, oh, we can't get stuck on our preferences. I think, especially if you're having trouble meeting people and you're like, I can't find Mr. Right, open up your preferences and don't get stuck on sexual positions or masculinity, femininity. Listen, we all a little femme sometimes. In most long term relationships, in gay relationships, there are some flipping going on. There are, yes, some strict tops, some strict bottoms, but that is very few. Again, most married people do some flipping. Don't kill me. I'm just talking about the data. I'm just saying. All right, Markeith, we can welcome in our next person. Ooh, y'all gonna cuss me out. I'm talking about y'all need to. I'm not doing a versatile agenda. I'm just telling you, be a little flexible on sexual positions and masculine versus femininity. Yeah. Woo. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, Brian, how you doing?
Hey, sorry. I actually had tennis, so I was
Oh,
just
you're
running.
good. Good. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show,
Can you
Brian.
see me?
How are you doing tonight?
Huh?
I said, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. I'm good. Not too bad.
Good. Now, Brian, if this is the YouTube family over here, Brian has been on my dating show on Instagram, Shoot Your Shot Wednesday, asking questions. But now he's over here on YouTube. Tell us, the folks, because they might not know you. Tell them a little bit about your background and let us know what dating questions you might have or some concerns.
Well, I'm Brian. I live in Ohio. What can I say? I'm 6'7", former athlete, originally from Jamaica. I work in IT. Um, yeah, I just like to relax and travel and go out to eat and have a good time.
Okay. Okay. What dating questions do you have?
Well, I mean, you were supposed to tell me if I'm dateable or not. So,
Okay, okay. So tell me, what are your challenges in finding compatibility?
um, so I think for me, it's less more about compatibility and
Mhm,
more like finding people who are, what's the word? They have a mindset of having long-term relationships. Like,
mhm,
I have no trouble actually finding matches. I just
mhm,
have not had the best luck finding people who are willing to kind of fight it out, if that makes sense. It's
What?
almost like my last few relationships, it's been less than a year, less than 8 months was the last one that I was just in,
Mhm,
until up until this point, like I still don't even know what the reason was.
mhm.
Uh, but yeah, the last long term relationship that I had that was pretty long was 4.5 years. And that actually was my first relationship when I was like 21 years old. So I'm 36 now. So you can do the math.
Yeah, so it's been a while, like for something that's been over 12 months. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And so, what are you doing? You say you don't have a problem with finding like dates, but it's finding guys who want to fight it out. What do you mean fight it out? Like, what does that mean?
Um, so I, so I'm one of those dudes who, and I will just be completely transparent. I'm one of those guys who I'm gonna challenge you, right?
Hmm.
So we all know this. People don't like being challenged, right? Like when you challenge people to be better or challenge people to treat you like how you're supposed to be treated or how you deserve to be treated, or
Hmm.
even challenge people to be accountable,
Hmm.
people would rather walk away than actually do those things. So
Hmm.
I'm finding that like some of the people that I've dated in the past, within the last 5 years or so, that's the case. Is as soon as there's a situation that challenges them to
Hmm.
be better or challenges them to work on stuff,
Hmm.
whether by themselves or collectively with me within the relationship, that
Hmm.
seems to be the time when they kind of just check out.
Okay,
So
so
go ahead.
give me an example because I want to make sure I'm crystal clear. Give me an example of when you have challenged a guy. Give me the topic that you have challenged him on, and how do you do it? That's what I want to know.
Um, so I can give you the most recent one. So, for example, I was in the relationship. Everything was going good. We started having a few little arguments, and
Mhm.
like I noticed, or I started to sense a little bit of the drift. And so, like, I'll bring it up. I was like, "Hey, are we okay? Whatever, whatever." And if ever there was a situation where I would say, "Hey, you said this to me, or you did this, and it made me feel this way,"
Mhm.
or it wasn't, it didn't make me feel good, and
Mhm.
the ask is, "Hey, in the future, can you do better at this, or can you do it this
Mhm.
way?"
Mhm.
And I find that people don't like that. They like
Mhm.
when they tell you, "Hey, you did this to me and you said this to me." And I'm the type of person where if you come to me with what, if I said something to you or if I did something to you, I don't care if I think I'm right or I'm wrong in the situation.
Mhm.
Just the fact that you brought it up to me, it's like
Mhm.
a instant fix for me. And so I don't necessarily expect that from people because obviously not
Mhm.
everyone is wired the same way.
Mhm.
But I do expect to see some sort of change, and I don't
Mhm.
always see.
Yeah.
So, like, I always feel like I'm making concessions,
Mm.
and when it becomes time for concessions to be made for me, it doesn't seem like it's that important.
Yeah. So yeah, so Brian, I'm hearing that you are, one of the things I think about when you talk about being dateable is how do you handle conflict? And the example that you gave me on how you approach conflict is, I think, a healthy way to do it. You verbalize, "Hey, I didn't like this. This is how it made me feel. How do we go from here?" Right? And if guys cannot respond appropriately to that method and approach to handle conflict, that is a sign for you that this guy is not compatible for you. Because while you're dating, you should look at how the guy responds to you bringing up issues and concerns. Because guess what? It is not going to change when you get in a relationship. He's going to be that same person who avoids it. You're going to be stuck with him and you're going to be like, why doesn't he change? Like, don't get in the habit of wanting to change people.
Oh
Like,
no.
mm-mm,
Yeah,
mm-mm,
so
mm-mm,
so to your point is like what I find is, and because I'm very deliberate during the
mm-mm,
dating phase, or
mm-mm,
rather the portion of dating where you're not fully committed. Like you might be dating exclusively, but not fully committed yet.
yeah.
So I'm deliberate to be looking out for those red flags. Like what I notice is it's so weird. It seems like it kind of sneaks up. Like
Mm-hmm,
so in the relationship for about a year now, a year and a half, and that's when that started coming out. So it's not so much like during the dating phase, you had this period where you would bring something up
mm-hmm.
and they would not want to resolve it. It always seems to happen after a certain point,
Hmm.
um, which is odd, right? Because you would think the
Well,
longer
I
you
guess right.
go
So
ahead.
I guess my question though, Brian, is when you were in the dating phase, what did you notice about how they handled conflict with their family members, their friends, and did you all address any elephants in the room during the dating phase, or did you just kind of be like, let's just coast?
No, I'm like I said, I'm very deliberate.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just I hate to say it this way, but I just feel like I've just been lucky to find people who were very good actors. And like
Mm,
what I normally say to people is, you can only fake being somebody else for so long or no more
mm,
because at some point the real you is going to surface. And I
mhm,
feel I've just had that bad hand, that luck of the draw to just get people who are like that. Like,
mhm,
so like I said, first year and a half will be great. There's, if there's a conflict, you talk about it, you get over it, we move on. And
mhm.
then it's after that point, that's when it starts like really, like you almost have to fight to get that sort of resolution when there's some sort of conflict. So I don't know.
I would beg then to say then they can handle conflict because if they've done it for 12 months, they can.
Hmm.
There's a reason why they're choosing now not to do it.
Right. And I
Like
usually don't.
literally. No, I'm telling you, like if they've done it for 12 months, they know how to do it. They have the skill, they have the experience. You've seen it. Like you've experienced it. You're like this, he can do this. He is choosing not to do it anymore. It is probably because he's no longer in love with you. Something about the dynamics of the relationship has changed. That's the underlying issue. So it's like, let's probe more about what has changed now. Did we grow apart?
Right.
Did you see more into who I am and it's no longer appealing to you?
Mm-hmm.
Did
Right.
you see something else that you want to be involved in, but you don't have the courage or the words, the ability to say, "Hey, this was a great 12 months, but I want to move on." So instead, I'll just pick an argument, or I won't communicate properly.
Yeah.
If,
So I guess from all of this dialogue, now I do have a question.
Mhm,
So how would you handle the situation of like where you either break up or let's say somebody, the other person wanted to break up a little bit more? Because my last relationship, the breakup basically happened like this, where he he basically like 3 days before the breakup, like he was okay to move forward because we had a conflict and we
mhm,
spoke about it 3 days before the breakup, and he was fine to move forward. And then 3 days later, like he was like, well, I just kind of feel like all of these conflicts is putting a drift in our relationship, whatever. And
mhm,
so like, he was beating around the bush about it. And so I told
mhm,
him straight up, I was like, dude, listen, I know what I bring to the table, and I deserve somebody who's sure.
mhm,
So I'm
mhm,
out, and that
mhm,
was basically our breakup, right? So my question is, how do you handle a situation where somebody didn't want the relationship, obviously, but
mhm,
after the breakup, like they're still trying to stay in contact, like just very
mhm.
very, and it's almost as if like they're basically saying, well, we broke up, but my life is not happier. I thought it was gonna be happier, but
Mm, mm, mm.
so like,
Yeah,
how,
yeah.
how would you suggest I handle that situation?
Yeah, so I guess I'm wondering, Brian, like, did you all have vulnerable moments?
Yeah.
Like when I say like vulnerable moments where he is sharing intimate things, you're sharing intimate things, both of you are removing the pride, because that's usually hard with guys when they're dating. It's like removing that pride and being vulnerable. That's what I would say will help, because it sounds like, especially talking about 3 days, he's just like, oh no, we're not going to do this anymore. And then he goes on, and then he's like, oh, the grass was not greener over there. I'm no longer happy. It's like, well, bruh, these are the things I was looking for. You could not communicate what changed in the relationship. Like relationships evolve, and if you don't say like, hey, you are my partner, I want to be with you, a year ago we established this was a type of our relationship, but you know what, things have changed. So now I want to take more of the lead on directing about what we do. Or I want to take a step back. I want you, Brian, to step up to do X, Y, and Z. Or hey, I want to move to a different city. Or hey, I want to move in together. Like if you don't communicate what your needs are, then that's when you start to pick arguments. That's
Yeah.
when you find excuses to leave the relationship because you don't articulate what your needs are.
So, and I will just finish with this because I know there's other people waiting. But
Mhm,
so my approach to this situation has been, because I felt like I didn't necessarily get a good explanation as to why
mhm,
we, he wanted to break up. Because, like I
mhm,
said, literally just met his family like in
mhm,
December, and then
mhm,
we practically broke up a little before Valentine's Day. So
mhm,
it made
mhm,
no sense, right? Because
mhm,
everything was been orchestrated by him. So the way I've been handling this, because I felt like I didn't really get a good explanation as to why you wanted to break up or why he
mhm,
wanted to break up, was I'm responding to the messages, but he's
mhm,
not getting. So he's not getting sadness. He's not getting happiness. He's not
mhm,
getting eagerness. He's not getting petty. He's
mhm,
it's very unlike me in my responses. So it's
mhm,
very
mhm,
flat. So I think he doesn't necessarily know like where my mindset is, and I'm deliberately doing that
mhm,
because I feel like I shouldn't bail him out to be a man and
Mhm.
grow up and say, "Hey, I made a mistake." You know what I'm saying?
Question.
How would you?
Is there a possibility that you may want to get back with him?
I think the door is still somewhat open, but
Yeah.
I know me, the longer that time passes
Yeah.
without
Yeah.
stepping up to the plate and saying, "Hey, whatever,
Mhm.
whatever," the longer that time passes, then the more the door closes. So the door is
Wh-
still open.
Yeah, so it's a little open. When is the last time that you saw him face to face?
We have not seen each other since the breakup, so that's February the 10th.
Yeah, I would say let plan a lunch. Hey, like literally, but like, hey, let's have lunch, right?
Mhm.
And here there are two things that you want to do. Write down a list of things that you would want to see differently in him for you to say yes, let's move forward. Right?
So, do you think it's advisable for me to make that step, especially since he's the one who wanted the breakup? Wouldn't that be just be
Absolutely, because it's unresolved for you and you
okay?
want answers. Like you are still at the place where you're like, why did he break up? What was the change? So it's hard for you to move on until you get clarity, right? So for you to, I say, write your list because you can go on this meetup and you can see that he has not changed.
Hmm.
And you're like, thank you for showing me who you are. It was great to see you. It's amazing. You put a bow on that thing and you move the hell on.
Okay.
Like move on.
All
Also,
right.
so write your list, but also talk about how you have evolved since the relationship. Talk about how you have evolved. So he can see and be like, oh, Brian, you a new person. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. Or he's gonna be like, thank you. I was looking for you to be that new person for me to want to get back with you. So,
Okay.
how have you both changed? And if it's compatible, move on. If it's not, leave it alone.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'll let
Yeah.
you know.
That'll help you with the healing process and be open for the next guy.
Oh, I'm already open.
All right, Brian,
Thank you.
thanks for coming on again. Tell them your Instagram handle. And you're in Ohio, but like what part, what city?
I'm in Dayton.
You're in Dayton, Ohio. That might be the problem too.
Um,
But
yeah. Well, no, that's definitely the problem.
yeah.
But I think my Instagram is Yardy Brian, so YAADIE, and I think underscore Brian BRIAN 13.
All right. Thanks for coming on the show. Have a good night. Keep me
Thank
posted
you.
too.
All right, bye.
See you later. Moving on after a breakup is hard, especially when you don't know the reason why the person wanted to move on. So I'm always advised, let it, wait a month or two and then meet up and have a conversation. I definitely want to shout out Markeith, who is doing production for the show, as always, and doing branding. If you are like any type of business and you need help with production, rebranding your business, your dream, definitely go ahead and check him out. Here is his website. There you go. There you go. Um, woo, you all come with some good scenarios. These are really good scenarios that you will have about dating. So definitely share this video if you all like what you are hearing and you think somebody needs to hear this. Do me a huge favor, click the like, share the video in the comment section. Tell me what you think so far. Let me know what you think. Okay. Okay. I think there were, and if you want to join, there is a link in the chat box. If you want to come on, there is a link in the chat box. You can come on and have a conversation with me. Who was it? Adam, I did not forget about your question about dating on Grindr. So I told you to make sure you have great pictures. The other thing I think you should do, Adam, he's like, Lamont, stop saying my name. But I think you should complete the entire profile out, right? like your age, your height, your weight, what you're looking for, like sexual positions. I think sometimes on those dating apps, you all set each other up for failure by not completing the entire profile out. So it's hard to pick because you have not completed the entire profile out. Dating apps, if you use them the right way, you can find love. There are a lot of people that have found their husbands, their partners on dating apps. Clear pictures, complete the profile, but then also write what you are looking for. You're looking for a guy who likes fun, who likes to travel, who's intelligent, who's caring. Those are attractive profiles, okay? And then the other thing is you do the picking. You know, when I say you do the picking, scroll through the profiles, say hello, how you doing? Look at the date. Of course, you are still going to go ahead and get nude pictures and all that type of stuff. If you want to entertain it, entertain it. But if you really want to find love, focus your energy on people who actually want to date. Okay? Adam, try it for 30 days. Put your face picture out there on those profiles. If you're just joining the show, this is Are You Dateable? I'm Lamont White, your host. And every Thursday, we invite people to pose any questions in the chat box. Also, if you want to come on live with me and see if you are dateable, like I can tell you if I think you're dateable or not. And if I don't think you're dateable, I'm going to give you some things that you can work on so that you are more marketable. And yes, I use the word marketable because marketable and dateable are the same thing. If you are not dateable, and some of us go through a season when we are not dateable, like you should not be romantically involved with a human being at all. Maybe, a machine or a toy, but not a human, right? Life happens, you need to take a break. But if you want to be marketable, you have got to put yourself out there. You have got to focus on your mental health, and you have to be what you want in a partner. Okay. What other questions do you all have? If you have some, put them in the chat box. If you like what you're hearing tonight, you can buy a sticker as well. I think the stickers are like $1, $5, all that type of stuff. Martin said, who is in Dallas looking to date? I think there were some other questions in the chat box. I don't know if I missed any. Let me scroll up and see. Yeah, let me know what questions you all have about dating. I will leave it open to you all. Are there any questions? Okay, so Robert Clay says the dating pool here in San Diego is not conducive for gay Black men like myself. I'm starting to lose hope. So, Robert, I'm assuming that you only want to date Black men. You live in San Diego. If the population in San Diego doesn't have a lot of Black gay men, have you considered dating a guy who does not live in San Diego? Like Oakland, California, Los Angeles, Atlanta, Houston. Have you considered, have you gone to other cities to singles events so you can meet different types of guys? Or have you gone to different conferences, said hello to different guys? Have you tried to reach out to guys on social media, particularly Instagram, in different cities, introduce yourself, and start a long distance relationship, right? Because you said there are no eligible Black men in San Diego. That means you have to pick outside the dating pool in San Diego, and you have to push yourself to be the guy that can be an excellent long distance dater. Do you have the money to do that? Do you? Dwayne Boyd, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm just saying, I'm saying like you may have to move. Not if you don't want to move out of San Diego, you have to date long distance. Robert, I don't know what your yes and your no is. You might want to click the link so you can come on and talk to me about what you're having to say. Okay, but I'm saying like you have got to be a long distance dater. If you are saying I have never lived in San Diego, I have visited San Diego a lot of times. But I'm telling you, if you're saying there are no black gay men, I think there are there, though. I think there are, though. But if you're saying that's not the case, you have to date long distance. Okay? I think I saw a question. I missed it. What are your views on dating a guy with heteronormative ideas? Throw him in the trash. No. So it sounds like heteronormative ideas and views don't align with your views. Don't try to change that man. I don't know why people get into relationships with people who they're like, I don't like his viewpoint on life. I don't like the way he does things. And you try to change him. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. No. Don't date him. If he wants you to be the woman or you to be the man, and there's this imbalance power dynamic, and this person is supposed to lead, you're supposed to follow, and that does not work for you, why are you signing up for it? That's my question. Why are you signing up for that? I think you're wasting your time. I think you're wasting your time. No. Drum, nope. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. There's another question. It says, what are some conversation starters when meeting a new guy? Good question. So there was a guy maybe a week or two. He came on and we talked about this. You have to master the art of small talk. Yeah. I like it. If you want to be dateable, if you want to be marketable, you cannot expect a guy to read your mind and know everything about who you are. And dating is not a job interview. Some people treat going on dates, getting to know guys as a job interview. And you ask questions like, oh, what are your goals in life? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What are your deal breakers? All of those are like, I'm sitting down applying for a job. I want you to go ahead and Google icebreaker questions. Google icebreaker questions. There are tons of different types of icebreaker questions. Those are the questions you should be asking on dates. Silly, interactive questions that really make the guy smile, that you are insightful, that you all can lead to having a story from the response, right? So like, oh, tell me the last place you've traveled. He's going to tell you he traveled to Jamaica. Oh, how was it? What did you do? Who were you there with? You see, you're having a conversation. That's a small icebreaker, right? Those are questions like, I know it sounds elementary, or like you're opening up for like a presentation, or you're working with, little kids, but icebreaker questions are like silly ones, insightful ones are really great. I think also you have to come up with maybe 4 or 5 different stories that you can tell a guy when you go on a first date. I'll give you an example. I am a triplet. I have 2 other brothers who look just like me. We're born on the same day. We look alike. We sound alike, right? Their names are Lonnie and Lamar. If I was dating, I'd be like, hey, I'm a triplet. I got a brother who lives in DC. One lives in Houston. His name is Lonnie Lamar. We grew up together. We used to be crazy, bad, blah, 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 right? They're both straight, they're married. You see, that's small talk. That lets the guy know a little bit about who I am, my background, my interaction with my family members, and it's something that is unique to who I am. You have to write down and like memorize 5 things that talk about like who you are as a person. Right? Like literally, you should I say write them down and start to think about them and practice saying those 5 different things. Lamont, why I got to practice it? Because when you're going to go on a date, you're going to be nervous, you're going to have some anxiety. So I want you to be able to practice saying those different 5 scenarios or things about yourself. So it is like you can just say it in your sleep. Like blah, 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 blah. Right? I want you to be very comfortable when you're going on a date and you're talking about who you are. Okay? Onyx says, I love that I like a variety of different attractive black men, but hell, I'm still single. My problem is approaching men because I feel like the prize. Mm, 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 mm. You feel like the prize. you feel like the prize. Oh, that's it's definitely a loaded topic. I'll respond to this in 2 ways. Okay. 2 ways. If you say you feel like you're the prize and you want guys to approach you, right? In the beginning of your statement is that I read, if I read correctly, is that you have a problem approaching guys. And a lot of guys have a problem approaching guys because of their anxiety and fear of rejection. That is normal. Anxiety is if your heart is beating, you're human, you have red blood, you are always going to have some level of anxiety. And anxiety is a good sign because it shows that you are invested in the process of finding love and you're not a narcissist. Right? Narcissists, or they can just do it, it's fine. If you're nervous, you have some anxiety, that's a good feeling. Guys actually think that is a little cute. If they can tell you're a little nervous, they think it's an attractive thing because you are putting yourself out there. So I would definitely say embrace that. If you say you have a problem doing it, you're afraid of rejection, you have to change your view on what rejection is. People think that if they get rejected, it's that there's something wrong with them. No, there's nothing wrong with you. You're just not that guy's cup of tea. You're not compatible. You're just not compatible. It does not mean that something is wrong with you. Okay? So handle the rejection, handle anxiety, and you'll be able to approach guys. Okay? It's the small stuff, the small talk. You have to talk, hey, how you doing? Let me give you a compliment. You smell nice. Oh, I saw you sitting over here. You look all alone. Where are your friends? Where are your girlfriends at? Where are your Judys? You see how you're having small talk? You're smiling. You're looking at him. You have to practice approaching people. Do it with strangers. If you like go to the park, make it your intention to say hello to 3 different strangers with small talk. You can practice that, right? You don't want to go approach a guy who has, when you're trying to approach a guy and he has like 5 or 10 people around him. No. Approach a guy that is standing by himself or with one other person. Nobody wants to push through a pack of people. I get it. Let's handle the other side of that question about you feel like you are the prize. There are 2 people who are the prizes. You both are the prize. You both are the reward. If you see that you are the only prize, then why do you want that guy? If you don't think he's also a prize, why are you wasting your energy on him? Because best believe my husband is a prize. I am a prize as well. Can I get an amen in the comment section, please? you, why would you want to approach? I'm sorry. Why do you want a guy to approach you who is not the prize? I'm just I just want to know, like, if he's not the prize, why do you want him to approach you? You both are the prize. So you both you should approach the prize sometimes. And the prize should approach you sometimes. That is a debate where heterosexual people go back and forth saying, oh, the man is the prize, the woman is the prize. Listen, we gay. We both the prize. So at times, you have to use your versatility, energy, spirit, and sometimes you have to go ahead and approach a guy. It is worth it. I'm telling you, it is worth approaching a guy. If you do not step outside of your comfort zone, and I get all of this is uncomfortable, but if you don't step outside of your comfort zone, if you don't do things differently, you're going to stay single. I hope you take away from the message that you both are the prize. Onyx says, he says, gather me, Uncle Lamont. Amen. I understand. Yes. You both are the prize. And sometimes you have to go treasure hunting. Sometimes you have to, do something a little extra so you can get that reward. Woo. What is I see another said, when should health be part of the discussion? Clad or Claude Law, great question. Health. Like, when do you talk about, like, I'm assuming you're talking about health, like if you have any health issues, if either one of you have any health concerns, or is that what we're talking about, Clad? Is that what we're talking about? Sometimes when you all pose the questions, I need a little bit more clarity. I don't want to make assumptions, right? I don't want to make any assumptions. What are we talking about when it comes to health? I need a little bit more information. I don't want to make assumptions. Let's see. If you're talking about, like, if you both have any health concerns, I feel like that is not a first date conversation. You do not need to disclose any health information on a first date. Okay, people? You do not owe it to a stranger to disclose any health concerns that you have on a first date. I also do not feel like you should discuss any health concerns via text message, email, a letter, a pigeon, any of that. Those are face-to-face conversations. If there's some serious health concerns or just some health information that you want to share with the person, wait until a second or third date, and then you can bring it up. If you're concerned about bringing up health issues on a second or third date, maybe on a first date or a second date, talk about the topic, not specifically to you or him, but just bring up a health concern. Like, the AIDS walk is coming up, right? Like, Atlanta has an AIDS walk. Are you thinking about going to it? Do you know anybody who is interested in that cause or living with HIV? Listen to how he responds. Listen to what he says about, people living with HIV. If he says something negative, something condescending, you got your answer. You don't even need to talk about health if that's the health concern, right? You don't got to bring that up. You just, oh, like, okay, cool. Yeah, move on. There's not going to be a date number 2 or 3 after that, right? I hope that answered your question. Listen, we had a great time tonight. Thank you to everyone who has been watching this video. Make sure you continue to like this, comment, and share the video with your friends. I'll tell you all, if you all keep showing up on Thursdays, I will keep showing up on Thursdays. I definitely, if folks are like, you want more one-on-one dating coaching, you can betterwaytomeet.com. And we will put the link to the website in the comment section. So I provide one-on-one matchmaking services. You just go to the website, you go to betterwaytomeet.com, click on join here. It's in the center. And I do dating coaching one-on-one with guys all over the world. I also do matchmaking. So if you click on one of my packages, definitely our VIP matchmaking, which is the purple one, or the base matchmaking package. That's where I work with you one-on-one, do dating coaching sessions with you. You tell me what type of guys you want to go on a date with, and I make sure I send you on a date with guys that check all of your boxes. Where can you get that? Like, I'm telling you, we sit down, you tell me, Lamont, I want a guy, like you build a bear, you build a guy. We agree on those things. And then I send you on dates with guys that meet your preferences. I plan amazing dates. I also do dating coaching with the guys that you go on dates with. And we, all 3 of us, you, your date, and I, we stay in communication until y'all get married and afterwards, right? So once you become a matchmaking client of mine, we are friends forever. 2 weeks ago, one of my couples that I matched, they let me know that they are getting married like ASAP. They were together for 3 years. I'm super excited. And I am happy to just see how like their relationship has evolved over time. So check out my VIP matchmaking package, also my base matchmaking package, or you can do the dating coaching session. And this is a special thing I am going to, just for the people on YouTube, just for the YouTube. You look up in the top left, it says gay virtual speed dating. You are all the first people to find out that I am going to be doing a virtual speed dating event. Yes. The last time I did the virtual speed dating event, we had 100 guys. We did individual breakout rooms, and it was absolutely awesome. So you can check out the gay virtual speed dating option as well. All right, I'm over time. We're only on here for an hour every Thursday. I hope to see you all next week. Have a great night. See you later.